you asked me on my first day of karate what being a black belt meant, I would have probably told you something along the lines of being able to fight anyone in the room. But today, as I accept my black belt, I realize it's equally about who you are as a person off the mats. I remember the first time I knew this day would happen. Around 6 years ago, 2 days before my first competition, I lost 12-4 in a kumite match versus an ex-athlete of this dojo that'd be in my division. I don't know if Sensei remembers, but the day of the competition, he came to me and said, "Wow, Boaz, you're so warmed up. Already sweating 2 hours before the fight?" Confused, I looked at him and said, "Yeah, of course." But little did he know, I hadn't warmed up yet and was just so afraid to fight, I was drenched in sweat. But you see, that's the first lesson this sport has taught me. Showing up to anything is 50% of the work. No matter how scared or nervous you are, just being there and being courageous shows a lot of character. And you see, that wasn't the end of it, because after a few fights, I was in the final versus the athlete who beat me 12-4 just 2 days before. As the whole dojo stood on the side watching the fight, I knew if you asked anyone who would win, it was him. So as I stepped in the mat, the only thing rooting for me was my heart. 2 minutes later, I stood there in disbelief as I just won the whole tournament. Now that brings me to the second lesson this sport has taught me. No matter how matched you are, how little people believe in you, if you put everything you have in your heart into what you're doing, nothing is impossible. After I left the tournament, I was walking to the car with my dad, and I remember telling him, "Abba, I'm the best at karate in Montreal since it was a regional tournament." He looked at me and said, "Boaz, congratulations, but don't say that just yet." That brings me to the third lesson this sport has taught me. Being humble is one of the most important qualities a man can have. Because as I learned quite quickly, no matter how experienced you are, or what titles you have, if someone wants it more, they will always find a way to beat you. But you can't let those losses take away from who you are as a person. This sport has also taught me what I believe to be the most important lesson of my life. No matter how many obstacles are in your way, no matter who stands in front of you, if you always give your all and persevere, one day you will look back at them and laugh. Because before this sport, I understood what perseverance was, but now I truly know what it is. So what I tell myself if I could on my first day of karate is yes, if you really wanted to, you could probably handle yourself in a fight versus most people. But you wouldn't want to fight, because this sport has taught you to always be the best version of yourself. And your goals are bigger than showing off that you have a fast punch or a nice kick. Your goals will lead you to any direction you want to go in life. No matter what field, what passion, nothing is impossible if you always just show up. Now before I end this speech, I want to thank some people who have helped me get where I am. Firstly, I want to thank my parents. Thank you to my mom for always believing me and telling everyone about my accomplishments. Thank you to my dad for never missing a competition and always telling me I'm a lion before my fights. To my brother and sister, thank you for always being there for me, as well as teaching me how to fight before I even started karate. I also want to thank all of the ACAS athletes, all of you guys, and trainers that I've ever trained with, because without you guys, I would never have been able to accomplish this. Finally, Sensei Soren, since day one, you've always believed in me and helped me to become a better athlete, but more importantly, a better person. And you'll truly ingrain the saying, perseverance will take you far, in my head. I thank you for that. So I want to wish you all good luck today, and I hope one day I'll be sitting there listening to your guys' black belt speech.
Yes, let's give it a round of applause.